Here we go. Week 5, and welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Useless Filler. Surprisingly enough, we've actually secured a sponsor for this week. That's right. This week is brought to you by standing desks. Do you want to let everyone know that you're better than them? Try a standing desk. The mobility and freedom, flexibility, and options that it provides you are second to none. Get a standing desk and let everyone know that they are worse than you. Dylan, how are you doing this week?
Yeah, I like how you didn't even give a brand. You're just like standing desk, like the brand standing desk.
Yeah, dude, every time every time I run into someone who's got either has a standing desk or they think about it, I let them know like, "Hey, do you want to be better than everyone else around you and let them know that you're better than them? Get a standing desk."
Actually, it's funny when I interview people for jobs, that's like the first question I ask. If they say they don't have one, I tell them to get lost. There's a
Yeah,
pig trough in the back for them to piss in.
get out of here, you filth. I couldn't
Dude,
imagine only being able to sit down.
it does make you feel a vast sense of superiority. God, I
Like,
remember when I tell that I have a standing desk, it's like, man, I wish I had one. It's like, dude, you are living in the past. Step it up.
yeah, yeah. Let me show you to the door of the future.
Yeah,
You
right.
can like, we're recording this right now, and even as I'm speaking, I am doing micro pacing back and forth. I'm doing
I
hummingbirds.
was gonna say
You know?
hummingbirds. I wanna hear you at one point in the podcast, just like, kind of like almost like you're fainting. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "I was doing too many hummingbirds."
Constantly on edge.
It's okay because I have adult type 2 onset diabetes.
Well, I don't think we should keep the people waiting, although I
No,
do
we
have to
shouldn't.
sneeze, so I'm gonna try and not do that, but
Yeah, to answer your
gotta
question, how am I doing? I wanna ask you a question. Are you boycotting anything as of recent? This is gonna lead into how I'm doing, by the way.
boycotting anything, like, this year, or
Yeah, in general.
is this something I've told you that I'm not doing?
No, I kinda mentioned this last night a little bit, but I keep seeing stuff regarding Nintendo, and I can't help but start thinking, "Wow, I want to boycott Nintendo as hard as possible."
You were telling me a little bit about it. The
Dude,
actual, like, Switch 2 launch titles and titles for the Switch 2 specifically have just kind of been lackluster and a money grab, it seems.
and also, well, one thing I found out, I didn't know this, so, like, back in peak Nintendo, it was, like, right as I believe the Switch 2 came out or a little bit before. First of all, the main Nintendo president of Japan died. Then the main president of Nintendo of America retired and quit, and 2 other guys came in, and I realized 2015, 16, god damn, dude, it's been nothing but downhill since then. Like, Nintendo Switch was one of the greatest consoles, but even then, looking back at it, like, totally unbiased, it's not even a good console. Like, there's so many issues with it. There's joystick drift that, like, you luckily, I think there was a rumor I heard that you can get it fixed for free, but then they went back on it, and there was some people saying you did have to pay for it to get fixed. But, like, the overall console and the hardware sucks. Like, I mean, it came out in 2015, granted that, and then they tried to, like, port over Elden Ring. It ran at, like, 2 FPS or something. I made that up, something like that, but goodness, man, I keep reading things, and, like, there's literally a website called, like, where you can look up every lawsuit that Nintendo has ever had on any other company, and I'm getting so furious by it. And another thing I'm very upset about is that I'm not as that big of a From Software fan, but they do have the Bloodborne sequel coming out on the Nintendo Switch. I can't see it running all that well. I don't know.
Spiritual sequel.
What'd you say?
Spiritual
Beard.
sequel.
It looks super cool though. Like, I remember watching you play Bloodborne, and I'm like, "Dude, this game is so cool." And I saw the sequel come out on Switch too. I'm like, "Fuck, dude."
I
That's
remember seeing that trailer for I think just shows, like, where my head's at, and I don't know how other FromSoft fans feel, but when that trailer dropped initially, it was like, "This looks awesome, like, what is this?" And they kept going, through more of the trailer, and then it ended with it being on Switch 2, and it took all the wind out of my sails. I'm like, "Eh."
oh, I bet.
I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, and, like, I was watching a video earlier on, there's all that drama with the Pokemon franchise, how it's just oh, dude, I watched an hour-long video on how bad Pokemon Legends ZA is, and then I watched a whole video today on why Mario Kart World, the new one, is awful, and I'm like, "Dude, what is good recently?"
How do you botch a Mario Kart title?
Dude, that's what I want. Well, they decided to make it believe it or not, I did not know this. I don't know how I didn't know this. They made Mario Kart World, it's in the title, open world. How does that
Uh,
work? I don't know. But, like, there's all these, like, little, like, mini and, like, there was some positive about it. Like, apparently or well, even watching the videos, like, the map is gorgeous, the visuals are gorgeous, soundtrack's great. There's some cool things, like, when you're loading into a race, you get to, like, explore the open world, but, like, the open world is kinda cool, but the events and stuff, like, there's little kind of, like, challenges, but they don't do anything. They're very unappealing, not very exciting. Apparently, the online play, which not a surprise with Nintendo, is all awful. Like, no ability to connect with each other at all and get into games with each other.
what?
Some of the features are, like, just very impossible to deal with, like, connecting to games and races are very difficult, especially when you're with somebody. Like, if you're by yourself, apparently it's pretty good, but when you're with somebody, it's incredibly difficult. And, like, also we're getting and, like, there was actually, like, a big issue Nintendo is coming with recently where there's a lot of, like, AAA developers approaching Nintendo asking, "Hey, can we get a dev kit for the Switch 2?" Nintendo goes, "Yeah, just take the Switch 1 dev kit. Let's just run with that." And we're like, "What are you talking about? Why?" These AAA developers wanna make games for the Switch 2. Weird. I don't get it.
Well, then you were showing me because I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of the like Switch 2 or really Nintendo news outside of, their beef with Pocket Pair over the
Oh,
last like year and a half or so. But you were telling me about how there was basically this tutorial game with
yes.
onto the console about how to use it, how it works, and it's this like pretty crap mini game almost that they charge $10 for
Dude, yeah, it's
as a
people were
how
calling
to.
it a, video game manual. You paid $10 to learn about your Switch 2.
You showed it to me, and it was just the one of the worst things I think I've ever seen
Yeah,
that
it's just like it's like they try to make a little city out of the surface area of the Switch 2. You can go explore, the OLED screen, you can explore the Joy-Cons, the buttons, things that are different, connectivity features, all these other little things. And like your little characters you get to visit kiosks to talk to people about information on the Switch 2. And I think that is just so funny. Like, think about it like at the Wii. And this wasn't even a package title. Like, you had to pay for this. Now you don't even get a package title. The Wii came out with Wii Sports, one of the best
oh,
performing games ever created. And now we have to pay for a manual for the Switch too. Like, as I said, like, I think the whole company has just been going crazy downhill ever since these two new guys took over Nintendo. And that's the part that I think that I'm like, that's what has been bothering me. Cause like, I can't imagine what's going to happen when like, the next Smash title comes out or the next like Legend of Zelda title comes out. They're going to sell copies or like units of the Switch too, but only for that. Like someone did the math and saw that when Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, the sales of the Switch 2 like quadrupled for a single month and they went back down, started decreasing again. I think they're at a point now where the Switch 1 is currently selling just as much, if not almost more than the Switch 2. And it's crazy how also it's kind of getting so annoying, like just one thing after another. They raised the price from like $300 to 400 for the Switch 1.
what?
Why is it appreciating in value? That makes 0 sense.
I think they well, I think that's telling because they know a lot of their most popular titles are on the Switch 1, and
Oh, I know.
a lot of them have been ported over to the Switch 2, but if you can get the titles you want on the Switch 1 and pay less money than the 2,
Oh,
why
right.
wouldn't you? Does it
I know.
seem like their new business model is just, "We're just gonna sue people for IP infringement and
Oh,
hope we
dude.
can bank money off of it."
Oh, absolutely. Like, there's that, and then they had a and yeah, they just keep suing people, and I don't really know. I can't it's hard for me to understand how that's making them money besides, like, obviously, they get the money from the lawsuit. Did you ever hear about the story about there's this dude who I guess he found copies of games, he was emulating them and selling them to people. I think in total he made around $300,000 and he got sued for 10 million from Nintendo.
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I think he made 300,000 ish, maybe over several years. When he got caught, sued him for tens of millions of dollars. And so that dude is indebted to Nintendo for life. Apparently now what he gets to do is I think it's like 60% of his paychecks he makes has to go to Nintendo essentially, which is nuts.
And that has to just be absolute pocket change for them.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Dude, and then here's the funny thing, when they have to go sue a big company where they know they have to, put up a lot of money for, attorneys and stuff where the other company can also do that. I can't remember what company it was. It's a bigger company, sued them for $67,000 for I don't know what.
I feel like it's just sending a message at
Oh, I
that
know.
point. Hey, I
It is.
saw their whole beef with Pocket Pair. They sued them because of how you could fly around on birds, like holding their
Right.
feet
Yeah,
flying around, and, I think they won that one, and so
they did.
Pocket Pair made it so they changed it, and
It
the
was
only
just
thing I
change
can
and update.
yeah, the only thing that I can think of what at Nintendo HQ is that the meme of the dude, like, popping the champagne bottle, thumping his chest, and then it
Yes.
zooms out, and he's 3rd place on the podium, and everyone's looking
Yeah,
at him like, what are you
that's
doing?"
exactly it.
That's the
That is exactly it. He's like there's, like, the first and second place guys that are just, like, standing there waving very nicely, and there's a dude in 3rd place just fucking screaming. I love that. Yeah,
that's
that's totally Nintendo.
that's how I've been feeling about them, like, for the last couple of years. They're
Oh my
just
god.
picking these fights. No, using a ball to catch things and keep them in there is our thing.
Yeah, I know.
And what's crazy is even Japanese courts are like, "Are you serious right now?"
Dude, it must be so exhausting. Like, it's crazy, like, I feel like they're pouring so much money into lawsuits and attorneys where if they just put more money into games, they would just do totally fine. Like, it was so heartbreaking to me, I was watching this video, and the original president of Nintendo a few years ago came out, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, "On stage, I'm a software developer. In my brain, I'm a game developer. In my heart, I'm a gamer." I was like, "Ah, fuck." We lost a good one, man.
I think
And,
it
like, he was, like, the prime example of, like, prime time Nintendo, of he was just pumping out amazing titles. It was so sad.
I think it shows, like, what's the last aside from Donkey Kong came out that was apparently very good. I mean, what else do you think? Tears of the Kingdom?
The Tears of the Kingdom, I mean, like, people are gonna fucking spend money hand over fist for Mario Kart because it's Mario Kart, but if you
Yeah.
also look at, like, all of the views and, whatever on the trailers, Mario Kart World has half the amount as Mario Kart, 8 Deluxe? Like, all of the most recent titles have way, way, way less, and they're just coming up with less stuff. Like, a big example was it was really recently, there's, like, a really big hour-long Nintendo Direct where they're gonna show off all this new stuff that people were thinking like this Nintendo Direct is the stuff they're going to announce to save this console because it has been plummeting in sales recently. And all it was useless DLC. They announced a paid DLC for a Pokemon game that hasn't come out yet.
Hell
And the
yeah.
only saving grace in the entire hour-long Nintendo Direct in terms of games and content they're providing was the Bloodborne sequel, Dusk Bloods. That was it. Which, like, dude, what will happen is, like, you're gonna get tons of sales for people who want to buy Duskblood, but it's not gonna sustain the life of the console. Like, they need to keep having games come out that are really good, but they just cannot do that because they're so focused on not doing anything creative. They have nobody that's creative left at Nintendo, I don't think. I mean, you got Game Freak now doing their own thing, making that one kind of Souls-like game, but I don't think that's really Nintendo associated because it's coming out on PlayStation. So they're kind of like, I feel like they're branching off from Nintendo. I don't know.
It's a sad day.
It is sad day, but you know what? Like, I think this is very it's like, this has to happen, I think, for Nintendo to realize, like, "Oh, we need to focus on making games, not just fucking suing people."
Well,
But
it's funny you mentioned, like, the lack of creativity and people just don't know what they're doing. I don't wanna, like, hop on the hate train, but did you see who's replacing Phil Spencer at Microsoft? Microsoft Games?
buddy, we talked about this already, didn't we? A little bit off podcast?
I think so, yeah. It's
Oh, yeah.
now I wanna open up by stating a couple of things.
I know what you're gonna say, but say it.
The fact that she's a woman and a woman of color is irrelevant to my concerns. She has 0 gaming industry experience
Yeah.
and is solely focused on I don't know if it's generative, but like AI infrastructure and
Mhm,
utility, and that scares the hell out of me because, um, I think it was either EA or no, it was Activision. They patented a way to market and use AI to get people to, like, push them towards purchasing cosmetic items in their store. They would purposefully pair people in lobbies who had purchased cosmetics with people who had not.
mhm.
And, typically in games, if you're buying
Interesting.
cosmetics, you either have a lot of money or you spend so much time in the game, you're like, I'll spend a couple extra dollars. I've gotten my money's worth out of it so far.
Yeah.
And so typically they could be a little bit better. And if you're a newer player who doesn't have any of these wild, wacky cosmetics and you're getting absolutely greased by people who do, you're like, I need it.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's a good point. Think about it that way. I think, like, a part that I heard about it, the whole you knew, CEO, was the fact that Microsoft is trying to start shoving Xbox under the rug because they
Yep.
know they are never gonna win this, video games war. It's just PC games, indie games, Steam, and PlayStation and Nintendo, they will never come anywhere close, and they are moving immediately pivoting towards AI and just trying to shove AI down our throats. And that's another thing
It's
I guess I'm boycotting too. I'm trying to like do less AI. Speaking of, the cover of this week is AI generated, of course, referencing how long we've been making these podcasts. I thought it was funny to make a Joe Rogan inspired podcast cover. But anyways, yeah,
I think
I'm getting
there's a
tired of the AI shoving down our throats.
oh, dude, there's a difference between, like, using AI as a tool, like, "Oh, generate this picture because, I'm too poor and can't wait to, commission someone to make this each week
You
if
forgot
we wanna
talent.
change things up." And then versus, a company who's using generative AI to create assets and games that people are purchasing and paying money for. It's like, what's the value added here? And it feels like you're paying for their investment in this AI that no one asked for or really
Yeah.
wanted all that much versus like a game like Witchfire, where they are taking a hard no AI stance. Everything is made by a person in
Mhm.
that game. And it the fact that, she's now the CEO of Microsoft Games, like, it's concerning about, what level of AI and AI tools are we gonna see in games? Is it gonna be assets? Is it gonna be back end? I think Microsoft has a pretty crap track record as of recent, and I'm worried it's gonna be
Yeah.
what you see is AI versus we're helping it get baseline code for the
Uh-huh.
game.
Yeah, and I don't know also, like, in what capacity are they gonna try to stay in games? Because I think they have a pretty good pulse and lockdown on, like, having Game Pass as a service for, like, Microsoft and or Steam PC users, and I'm guessing they're gonna eventually switch it, and they're gonna totally just give up on Xbox consoles completely and just go to kind of game studios, games, and kind of what you said, which was just, like, adding AI inspired type games. But I think they're gonna probably try to lock down on using her for something AI related and maybe Game Pass, and then just trying to make more products that are AI related, which it just like, why? Like, why don't you just go back to what you're good at? Like, it's annoying that, like, they failed from, like, just giving up on creativity, and they're deciding, "Oh, we're just gonna switch to something else because we just don't want to go back to being creative and having good ideas. We'd rather just move to something more trendy that is going to make us a lot of money instead. Like, you can make a lot of money with games. I
Just
mean, Expedition
crazy.
33 did it.
I and it's crazy to think, like, when we were in, like, tail end of elementary, middle, and then high school, when the 360 PS3 era, I thought that the 360 was a better console than
You
the
did personally?
PS3. Yeah, I mean, both.
Oh,
I don't know. In terms of, like, it was cheaper, which was
oh yeah, it
huge.
was.
I thought the 360 exclusive games were better for the most part, and they were doing a lot of, like, Microsoft's. It wasn't Microsoft Studios yet, but it was games for the 360 specifically. So a lot of these studios were working very closely with Microsoft. I mean, you had Halo and Gears of War, which initially they were gonna shoot down because of how violent and graphic it was, but the studio, like, put their foot down and said, "No, for the story and what we're going for, it needs all of these things," and and it became massive, and I think, like, another reason that it did so well is because they let these studios be creative with all these games. Now it's, "Well, how can we get people to open their wallets after they buy it?" And it sucks. I'm not gonna try and get political, but, like, corporate America got their grubby little fingers inside of, a hobby and something that people genuinely enjoy and are trying to exploit it and wring it out for every penny they can. It sucks. It
Dude,
just sucks.
dude, yeah. That is a pretty big crux of the problems going. It's crazy how like Gears of War ended up becoming one of the best selling titles like nearly of all time. Real quick, actually, did you end up you thought Xbox 360 was better, but did you get an
Mhm.
Xbox 360 or a PS4?
I got a PS4.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious because
Mm.
I thought the exact opposite, but I got an Xbox.
So you did PS3, Xbox.
No, so was it PS3 that came out with the Xbox 360?
Yeah,
Oh, so did you get a PS3 or an Xbox 360?
I got a 360.
Oh, okay. So I was like, when they came out, I was like, man, I think the PS3 honestly has kind of better games and they look cooler, but I got an Xbox 360 anyways. And then I got an Xbox One, but I regretted it immediately. I don't know why, but when I was growing up, I was the biggest Xbox fanboy for some reason. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't because there's games that come out on like PlayStation now that I wish I could have access to. But I was fucking delusional. But now I'm on Steam where I can just kind of do whatever I want, which is fantastic.
Unless
Dude,
Sony keeps deciding, "Nope, this is gonna be a console-only release."
my God, I know. So that kind of ties into, well, not really ties into, but we're on the topic now with how greedy a lot of these companies are. This is a topic that I was so fascinated when I watched a video about it and I was kind of thinking about it. And I've never really thought about it much. I know I didn't like the idea of it, but with the gaming industry, we keep seeing these pushes to go for $100 titles. And I've been kind of debating with myself, looking up debates on, and people talking about, should games be $100? Do they deserve it? Or do you think that, the gaming industry and big CEOs, business people are trying to manipulate the public that games should be $100 titles? I have a lot of thoughts on this before we get into our little activity today. But do you have any thoughts or do you want me to start us off on that? Because the big topic is GTA, because that will probably, people are thinking it's going to be $100.
I think we talked about this. I think if there's any title or company that could, like, justify or pull off $100 base cost for a game, it would be like a Rockstar title.
It would be. And I think the issue that I was thinking about today is that I am 100% against the $100 title because all of these studios, game franchises, and everything haven't earned it yet. Every single one I can think of, the only ones I can think of that would potentially earn a $100 price tag, Larian Studios. I don't know, like if, full release, say like several years from now, I could potentially see Pocket Pair, trying to go for 100, even though like they're such a good company. I don't think they would want to anyways. But, like, your games like Call of Duty, Madden, Borderlands, Gearbox games, all of those games, like all these other AAA, and if you want to call some of those quadruple A they claim titles, they haven't earned it yet. No one has had their trust to where like, yeah, I'll pay $100 for that. It's more annoying because you have these game developers talking with these big business people on, yeah, we should make these $100 games, but they don't really consult with the people who are buying them. They have no voice really. Like this is why it's fun talking about this on a podcast because we hear all these big CEOs and people and developers and or like heads of studios saying like, yeah, we should chart. We're going to chart. The game industry is deserving of $100 titles. But why aren't you talking to the customers and seeing if they're willing to pay that? Sure, there's going to be plenty of people when games come out for $100, they'll pay for it. GTA is going to be super successful, but it's just going to be kind of like I don't want to say scary, but like when GTA comes out, if it is $100, what's the next game we're going to see that's going to be $100? It's probably going to be months later. We're going to see a
It
$100 title.
it just got me thinking about it recently. You remember when Baldur's Gate 3 came out
Yeah.
and people were saying, it's now raised the standard of the industry. Developers or like AAA developers and people from other AAA studios were like, no, no, it hasn't. You can't say that. And then Claire Obscure came out, and people were saying like they've like raised the bar or they've upheld the standard, and they've kind of you know pushed past what people thought was possible. And other developers, no, no, that's not true. It's
Right.
actually like we can't do that. And then I guarantee the first $100 title that comes out, the same people who said that, Baldur's Gate 3 and Expedition 33 set an unattainable bar will look at a $100 title and go, well, yeah, I mean, it's the new standard. We
Dude, you are
have to
so
charge
right.
$100. I'm like, the hypocrisy of it. Like these games that have put like tens of thousands of man hours into creating, and then like GTA 6, like years of development and several delays to like fine tune and completely make sure that it runs the way they want. I think at that point I don't want to say entitled, but like I think they can more easily justify the $100 price tag.
Yeah.
But like yearly release Call of Duty, yearly release sports games,
Oh my God, no.
get out of here.
Yeah.
No way. But you know that these big companies that, either own these studios or these publishers are gonna be, yeah, yeah, $100 new standard, even though they can't pump out quality like indie or double A studios can now.
Which is so funny. Dude, you make such a I love that point you made about how the hypocrisy and stuff. I could so see the same people who complained about Baldur's Gate and be like, "Yeah, I mean, this makes sense." Dude, they want the money for it, but they don't wanna put the effort in for it, and it's so frustrating to me. Like, just make a solid game, like, we can go based on a few things, like, what does merit a $100 game? I think there's a few things. I think actually trust is a huge one. Like,
Mhm.
you can't just develop a brand new game, brand new studio, put a $100 price tag on it and expect it to do well because no one knows who you are. Of course, like it might take some time if it's actually really good to build up some substantial sales from it. But you need some trust and you need to kind of like follow a basic metric of, for example, we'll also do with GTA 5. People played that shit for years.
Oh, yeah.
Years. People play Call of Duty for 4 months, get pissed about it, wait 6 months for the next one to come out, and then just do that all over again. But I did hear Call of Duty's switching to biannual releases now.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
okay.
minor dub, I'll give them that. But I
Yeah,
mean,
they
like,
also said they wouldn't come out with a Black Ops sequel for 2 years, and then they announced Black Ops 7 the following year, so, take it
dude,
with a grain of salt.
wait, they're on Black Ops 7 now? Oh my god,
Black Ops
dude. I didn't
Black
I
Ops
didn't know
6
they were
came
on
out,
7.
yeah, when 6 came out, they said, "We're not gonna do a sequel next year." And then in May, when they released the trailer, "Oh, Black Ops 7," and everyone went, "The hell? You lied. You knew you were making this."
Makes me feel so old. You sent me something today. We both joined a new subreddit called what is it? 30-year-old gamers,
30 plus.
30 plus. We are 29 years old, but we bought in early.
Yeah, a few short months away. We're gonna be there. I feel like
Yeah.
we fit the vibe of what's
I do. I
going on
love
in
I
there.
love I love the front of the page too. It's like younger me raging during games, then older me finding pleasure in the story and the nuance of games. I was
Mhm.
like, That's kind of funny. I like that.
I feel like I
Dude.
found my people.
Yeah, right? It's a community I can probably fit into very well. I just hope they accept me for not being 30 yet. But, like, let's like, for example, like, I have been hearing more and more bad things about Borderlands coming out, Borderlands 4 being not good, and we were actually looking at, reviews last night, that's right.
I know
It is
why.
currently what?
I know why the reviews were so low yesterday.
Really? 'Cause, like, we were seeing them at 45%. Did you find out why?
I found out why.
Oh,
So
tell me.
I joined a call with my brother and his friends last night, and it was
Okay.
because the DLC came out.
Already? I guess it
DLC came out. So if you did not get the deluxe edition, it's a $15 DLC. Again, I haven't played it. I didn't watch my brother's friends play it. They beat it in an hour and 15 minutes.
shut the fuck up.
I was in the call when they started it together, and
What?
then
Really?
and an hour and 15 minutes later, they're like,
We're
"Well,
done.
yeah." I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, I think that's why. I think that's why the reviews are so low.
That's
Plus,
funny.
they said there wasn't a whole lot of nuance to it. It was just kind of go straight through here, shoot people, and then kill the boss, and then
Damn,
done.
that's funny. I remember I think Borderlands 2 had some, crazy good DLC, and also after a certain amount of time, you got the Handsome Collection.
Hmm.
The Handsome Collection with all the DLC, dude, that's $150, $200 worth of games, and you got it for, like, 20 bucks. And
Hmm.
it was I think the Handsome Collection's probably up there in, like, the most copies sold of anything. Not up there, but, like, it's way higher than it would expect it to be for, like, kind of a re-release and remaster. But, oh my god, dude, that's crazy. I think, like, some of the Borderlands 2 DLCs took me, like, at least, like, 4 or 5 hours to finish sometimes. Probably
Yeah,
quicker because like, they're meant to be optimized so you can kinda speed run them a little bit, but not an hour and a half, especially your first time through where you're trying to explore stuff. So I wonder if like people like tried to speed run that DLC, they'd get it done in like less than an hour, I bet.
easily.
Oh yeah.
I think the other thing my brother mentioned this. He's like, in the Borderlands 2 DLCs, it took you an hour to both get to the new area and get going on the main
True.
quest line. Like,
Yeah.
and then you would go through, and then it was all the other side quests and objectives and other things they had in this massive area that they gave you.
Oh, dude, I know. That's crazy. Dude, that's so sad. How much my beloved franchise has fallen. My God. Speaking of overpriced games, the $100 topic, yeah, fuck yourselves. We don't care for it. We're not here for it, whatever. But do you want to talk about your reactions to watching me play a few games last night?
Gladly.
Yeah, you tell your reactions from you watching me play, and I'll talk about my playthrough from the player perspective.
Okay, so the first game I watched you play was the Marathon Server Stress Test
Made by Bungie,
made by Bungie.
same people who made Destiny.
I was so confused,
Yeah.
not only as to what was going on, who the game was made for, and I like they tried to do a blend in some areas of like kind of like a gritty environment, but also like it looks plasticky and
Hmm.
weird. I don't know. Also, too many colors.
Yeah, you did not like the colors in the color scheme at all,
Dude,
which I
it
thought
was
was
like when you were outside in areas with like the natural environment, it was like kind of weird to see dirt, grass, rocks next to these insane pastel colors.
yeah.
And
It
I'm like, we both were just like, I don't get it. I do not understand what I'm looking at.
It was very funny. Yeah. I remember I was like, I just want to try. It's free, whatever. Who cares? And I was like, we both heard some good things. You said you were watching somebody on YouTube a while ago, and you were like, yeah, they said good things about it. And I was like, PvE, so it's an extraction shooter. Last obviously extraction shooter I played was Arc Raiders. I had a good time with it. I had some gripes with it. I think my main gripe with extraction shooters like Arc Raiders was you kind of ended up getting into either friendly lobbies or PvP lobbies. There's really no good balance of that. So either like you're in a lobby where it's literally just search and find for materials you need, and then, you could potentially get killed, whatever, who cares? But I think the balance is a little weird in Arc Raiders to where it doesn't matter what gun you have. It's really about who shoots first at the end of the day. Like if you're turned around and someone shoots you in the back, you're done. You're not going to win that fight. But regardless, I have kind of been skeptical of extraction shooters. This one's a little bit different. It does encourage a little bit more of like group play. So you get in a team of three. And I think the thing that kind of struck me was, Arc Raiders, I played my first round. I was like, whoa, I am kind of into this. This is fun, interesting, seems difficult. And I couldn't even tell in Marathon if I was fighting NPCs or humans. The only way I could tell that I thought killed a few humans was I had a stealth ability and I saw someone else also use a stealth ability. I was like, huh, I think that was a human or a player. And like, there's no way to tell you like if it was or not after the game's over. It just said kills. I don't know if it counted for player kills or like NPC kills. And I think the gunplay was decent. It wasn't too bad.
You shot
Fairly smooth.
colors. You shot
It
colors at people.
did shoot colors. I think I mentioned to you once I shot pixels.
Yes.
And that was kind of funny. But then there was just a point where like I'm looking at my inventory. The UI and the inventory management for when you get back from a run is incredibly confusing compared to Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, you literally just look at your inventory, throw things in your inventory, take it out. There's a lot of materials for crafting things, but you kind of know what's for what because it tells you what's for crafting, what's not. But like there's all these different things in Marathon that do all these wacky different things. There's a lot of utility probably for it, but after one round of Arc Raiders, I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty hooked." One round of, when I first started playing Apex Legends, I'm hooked. After 2 rounds, me and Drew were just looking at it like, I'm not into it. I just couldn't get into it. It felt like the games were kind of empty. I was just only fighting NPC. I don't even know who I was fighting. And then after 2 rounds, I was like, kind of done. Then I looked at Reddit reviews on it, and they are straight 50-50. Like there are people who are just like, not for me, and there's some people who are like, this is the best thing ever. So very mixed reviews there.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. Like my my big concerns with it were with the state of live service games and the fact that the game is only launching. I say only. I haven't played it. I've only watched you play it, but the game is launching with 3 maps.
Yeah, and the maps
And
were kind of big, but not that big
yeah,
too.
and I haven't looked at a roadmap. I don't know what exactly their future plans entail, but they do not have a lot of runners at the moment. They don't have a lot of maps at the moment. Not that you need a lot, but if you have a few very good designed and laid out ones, it can make a world of difference. The only thing I was thinking was, wow, this seems like a setup to sell packages in the future.
Yeah,
Because Bungie, switched their model with Destiny to go free to play and then paid expansions, as you go down. So I'm like, they have experience doing this,
true.
but I don't know, only time will tell, really.
Yeah, I like the point you made up the other day when I was kind of playing through that was like your other concern was like this is a $40 game up front. I just don't know. Like I was trying to think like when I was playing, I was like, would I play $40 pay $40 for this? I was like, I like that it's a free game. And I think a good way to go is I'm just kind of split sometimes because I do like the idea of a free to play model and just pay for cosmetics. Like, I think Apex Legends does pretty well off that. I'm sure they wanna make more money off that, whatever, but I'm like, how else are they gonna probably try to monetize this? Because there's no way they're just gonna have you pay $40 for it, and it's just a free live service. Like, they're gonna have you pay for big expansions. Destiny and Bungie are known for having a full price game, and each expansion is about equal to the full price game, which that would be a big concern to me if, like, I'm playing this game 5 months later or whatever, I have to now pay for that full game again for an expansion or else I'm kinda behind on things. I was like, "I just can't see myself paying $40 for this game." It's interesting, like, I guess if you kinda like a style of, like, you want something between, I don't know, maybe Valorant and maybe Arc Raiders or something, but, yeah, man, I will say, like, I hate knocking on it so much because I know some people do like it, but I think the UI when you are in between missions is the worst UI I have ever seen. It is awful to look at, it's so confusing, and there's so many things they do not explain that I'm like, I just got so put off of it.
I don't
Yeah,
even think not explaining it is an issue. Like, Elden Ring explains absolutely nothing of the
that
inner
is true.
workings of the world, but, like, half the fun of that is figuring it out.
Right.
But, like, the risk that, you have in Elden Ring is, like, you lose the runes you're holding, but you can go pick them back up if you make it back to where you died. In Marathon, if you died, you lose everything?
Oh, yeah, that's how extraction shooters work.
So, like,
You can't get it back good.
the risk of not explaining it is way higher. Also, with the UI that you were talking about, I think the reason it was so offensive to my eyeballs was it was both blocky, but also way too many, like, bright clashing colors.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it looked like this to me, it looked like a big amalgamation of nonsense on the screen. And, honestly, like, they could go back, take feedback. I know this was just a server test. You know, with a lot of games being live service now, there is plenty of time down the road to fix and change things.
Yeah, a good point you mentioned too about, like, learning as you go is that, Elden Ring does a great job because, like, when and, like, with having low stakes in the beginning if you die. So, like, if you die, as you said, you lose your runes, but you can go pick them back up, but you learn that very quick because 'cause you're gonna die pretty fast in the beginning anyways, and
Mhm.
you're like you go pick them up, you're like, "Oh, so I lose them if I die, but I can go pick them back up." You learn that very easy. Even in Arc Raiders, you kind of they actually have, like, a cinematic and, like, a cutscene where you're opening a door, and they have some other, like, NPC raiders kill you, and you lose all your stuff. And then when you get back to the main menu, like, yep, it tells you, like, this is what happens when you die, but then they kind of say they kinda give you some stuff to kinda get you back up on your feet a little bit to teach you, "Oh, so when you die, you lose all your stuff, and it's permanent, like, you don't get it back." But they kinda show you that through a cool little cutscene kinda thing, whereas they didn't really do that with, and what's funny? It was like, I played 2 games and, I had to revive some of my teammates, but, we were fine, like, we didn't really die at all, so I don't even know if you lose your stuff into what capacity. And I don't know, like, another aspect I don't like about extraction shooters is so this is comparison to, Apex is a good comparison. So, there was a point where, we're walking up to the extraction in Marathon and, well, first of all, one of my teammates dies from, like, a thunder strike, and I'm like, "You fucking idiot." But another one just walks out. There's somebody extracting, they're shooting at him, and they kill him, so I'm the only one alive, and I just kinda wait a second. I see they just extract, so now they're just gone. And I'm like, "Oh, so now I just don't have to worry about them anymore?" Which is kind of a weird mechanic in a game to where, like, I was in danger, but I was like, "Oh, they're extracting. If I just wait, they go away." You know what I mean?
I I have more confusion about it than anything.
Yeah. Whereas, like,
But
Apex, it's different because, like, if you're getting pushed on a objective, dude, that team ain't going away unless someone else third parties them.
oh,
So that I
yeah.
was comparing to that, I was like, "That's kinda weird that, we're pushed and we're pinned down, but, like, I can just wait and they go away because they extract." I thought it was kinda weird.
So you got fed up, I got fed up with watching it, and then you pivoted to you were asking yourself, "What other demos are out today?
Yeah,
What else
next
can I
Steam
go and
Next
play for
Fest,
free?"
I was looking through. There's some good options out there.
You did find one.
I did.
Why don't you tell the people what you
Oh,
found?
first is so it's called Voidling Bound, I think. I want you you made a good point while I was playing this. Tell the people about how you noticed my mood changed while
You
playing
s
this game.
you got into the first, like, area where there was combat, and you sounded like a kid on Christmas morning. You were so happy. You were enjoying yourself so much, and I told you, it's like, "So you're having fun, and I see you grasp how this game works already." You're like, "Yeah, I do."
Dude, within the first round and run of this game, I get it. I understand it. I know the objective. And then you go back, and that's where you start to get more exposition and learning about the game. I remember, like, if you were listening to just my audio playing Marathon, I was like, "Eh." what is going on here? I'm looting this. Don't know what this does. And then there's one point where I just go and I'm playing Boiling Bound. I'll get into the details of that. But I'm like, you have ultimate abilities? And then
Oh my god.
that's where you were just like, are you having more fun with this than Marathon? I was like, yeah.
You were going through and looking at your skill tree, and just the just the juxtaposition of, like, your your mood switch over 20 minutes was so funny to me because it went from, "I don't know what's going on," to, "I've got an ultimate?"
Dude, that game was so fun. So, talk about Voidling. I think is it called Voidling Bound? Let me double check. I think it is. The game doesn't come out. I think I saw until June, but I think I saw this when I was like on Voidling Bound. Yeah, on Steam. Comes out like June, early June. But I found this on like Instagram when I was scrolling, and I was like, oh, it looks kind of like a cool game. I look up the demo and I was like, whoa, it's got like 97% positive reviews for a demo. It's got like 500 reviews or something. And I was like, oh, it looks super fun. Let me try it out. So it's kind of like a creature collector, but the unique spin on it is you can creature collect, you can mutate them, you can evolve them. As you play the game, you find more eggs to where you can hatch new creatures, voidlings. And the unique mechanic of it is you pick one of them and you get to sync your character's brain to them and control them when you go play around. So you kind of go through this place and immediately you kind of notice it clicked in my brain. I start shooting these big blobs of like goo and they go away. I was like, "Oh, I'm kinda like in Super Mario Sunshine where I gotta get rid of all the goo." And then I think you mentioned like, "Oh, so you figured the whole game out already." I was like, "Yeah, they put it right in front of me and I get it. I don't
Mhm,
have to be told it. I figured it out. It's not hidden. I just know because they did a great job at just displaying that."
mhm.
But this game is actually pretty insane because so you have an evolution tree and you get all these wacky upgrades. Like you go from just spitting like spit or something as a little kiwi guy. And you eventually, after that, you can mutate with fire or plant. You end up spitting fireballs. You end up like spitting out fire explosions after a while. There's this giant upgrade tree that has probably like, I want to say I saw probably like 50 combinations for just one of the voidlings and 47 of those on the full release. And I can just see myself spending hours figuring out every single one, finding the most optimal build. The cool thing too is that you can actually figure out like different mutations and customize like the mutations on your voidlings to give them the best stats and stuff. So you get to do some min maxing on that. And I think that's super fun. But yeah, you just kinda noticed my mood swing from that, which was pretty hilarious last night. Oh,
And then you were talking about, you were showing me the different, evolutionary traits you can get, and it shows you what it actually gives you,
I love it.
and
So
you were
simple.
so invested, and I think it was probably after maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, I said, "Oh, so you're buying this game."
Oh, for sure. Even you mentioned "This game's" what's it called? Boiling Bound. You're like, "I might have to look at this game." If I had to put a dollar value on it, on what I think people could pay for that just based off the demo, provide some value here. I would say, like, I think even, like, $30 would be a great price point for this game. 35 I don't wanna say it's not worth 35, but, that's about what I would pay for it. Marathon, I wouldn't play it unless it was free.
I think after watching you play Voidling, I think it would kinda depend on the amount of time and progression. Because if it's like you were looking at the, like, area progression on the map, and it looked, pretty deep in terms of
Yeah, dude.
how far you could go and what you could do.
Oh, there's so many avenues you can go with it, and there's so many ways you can upgrade things, and I was like, "Oh, this is, like, right up my alley." I love creature collectors because especially I grew up on Pokemon, man, that kinda thing, but yeah, that was a blast. I had a fun time with that. I think people should keep an eye out for that game. But we have to make kind of a shorter episode today, so we'll probably move on here because we got to do a double episode this week. So we have a game to play. We're gonna do what do we call it? Frankenstein video game and anime. Whew. Do you wanna explain some of this? I've been talking a lot.
Okay, so you sent this to me. The whole gist of it is, if you could make, either a series or a video game based on different aspects of games that you like, whether it's from a series like setting, animation, writing, characters, power system, blah blah blah. Video games could be gameplay loop, combat, progression. Any aspects of either a series or a video game that you enjoy. What aspects would you take from each of those to make your perfect show
Yeah.
or game?
Yeah. Dude, I was doing this, and there's, like, 2 parts of me I was thinking, like, what if I just, like, accidentally recreate a game that already exists? Or, like, some of these, like, I was putting them together, I was like, "Wow, this makes no fucking sense," but, like, if someone was able to do this by the way, we're just giving out free ideas for developers. If you wanna make something brand new and unique, listen to this podcast, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
God. Do you wanna go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Alright,
Run
we
me
gonna do
through your idealized scenario.
we gonna do anime, or you wanna do video game first?
You take your pick, darling.
It's on top. Alright, I did my best with this. I kinda did this all off the top of my head, but, looking back at it, I did this earlier today. I'm like, looking back at it, I like it. There's a lot of things I was thinking about. So, setting and world building is the first aspect. Now, I was thinking about settings I really like, and I really like more of like a Victorian era or like a Renaissance era. And I found a few of them, but I was like, there's aspects of the setting I didn't like too much, but I do like the older settings. So I think the setting that I would pick is either like an Attack on Titan setting, or I would pick like a Vinland Saga setting. Probably Attack on Titan because there's more, I guess, uniqueness. I guess it depends on when you pick the setting, right? Is it like pre or post Titans? But I'd say post Titans. I think just fucking Titans are cool. But yeah, that's like what I came up with that. And then animation, I was thinking a lot about this. I almost put Unlimited Blade Works Ufotable animation, but I actually put animation from The Legend of Hay.
Ooh,
I something about it so clean, crisp, perfect for me.
fluid, very
Fluid.
fluid.
As you quoting you from the last episode, style, baby. Main character writing. God, I just can't get away from Cyberpunk Edgerunners character writing. Dude, dynamic characters changing. Ugh, going through tragedy. Dude, sign me up.
And changing based on their experiences? What?
Ugh. Ugh, dude. This is like one where like I'm combining all these aspects to it. I don't know how this would work. I guess also because it's changing from tragedy, I am literally starting to just explain Attack on Titan. So like sometimes I'm thinking about this. I'm like, God, this is going back to explaining Attack on Titan. Side characters. I put Freerun. I love the side characters in Freerun.
Excellent.
Also developing, changing, unique, great backstories. They make sense. I will watch a filler episode of a free run episode any day. I'm totally okay with that.
I can get
Oh,
behind that.
power system was interesting. It's not technically a power system. I guess you could argue it is, but I put cyberpunk now. Yeah, it's not like a traditional power system. Like it's not cursed energy, it's not chakra. Something about one thing I love about cyberpunk's, I guess, quote unquote power system is that every advantage that you implement yourself comes at a crazy cost, and I love that. Is there any other shows like that that were like you can get stronger? I mean, I guess like there's Hunter x Hunter when they take on those contracts, but like
Yeah,
we're
Nen
like
contracts work
yeah,
similarly. The
yeah,
more complex and specific
restrictive. Yeah.
your contract with Nen is, or pact that you make,
Yeah.
the more powerful your Nen ability is.
Yeah, like
Uh,
Kurapika like just could not fight anybody else.
I couldn't use his
So
chain on anyone other than the Phantom Troop.
right. So, like, I guess it's kinda like that, but, I don't know, like, the Cyberpunk was a little bit more gruesome and visceral because they had to, like, actually augment their own bodies, and I was
Mhm.
like I love that. I feel like do you think, like, Heavenly Restrictions and PAX and JJK is similar too?
They are, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But, like, they're not you can't see them. Like, when you look at a character in Cyberpunk, you can immediately tell they have gone through a lot of shit to do that and how strong they are. You can't really see that in Hunter x Hunter or JJK, which that's something I love about them. Antag writing, I think you'll like my answer here. My biggest thing I like to see in an Antag is an Antag that's right. So I said Psychopath.
Yes, Shogo, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Antag that is right. Storytelling, free run. That was kind of easy. Sign me up any day of the week. Themes, Berserk.
Goodness, man, what the hell?
Dude. Dude, the cosmic horror and, like, the theme that I thought of the most, and I don't know Berserk as well, but I think this is a big theme. The more my favorite theme in media I love to see in a story is people who pursue knowledge and power, but they don't realize how dangerous it comes at a cost. And I think that's, like, a big theme in Berserk, right?
It's I mean, to an
Also, know it's just a
extent,
more of a cosmic horror type of, theme.
one of the big themes in Berserk is sacrifice. So, what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve your dreams or
Yeah,
your goals?
okay.
But yeah, that's
Or I guess I
they
could go with, not related, but Fear and Hunger has a big the more you seek knowledge and power, the more you don't realize how it is the worst thing you should be seeking out because it's a never-ending pursuit,
mhm.
and you're gonna kill yourself in the process. Soundtrack. I'll be curious to see what you say for soundtrack. So, it's funny how so I put JJK for soundtrack. I think just JJK has the best fucking soundtrack for me. And it's like, wow, I pretty much just explained Attack on Titan with a JJK soundtrack, I feel like.
Congratulations.
However, Attack on Titan, I wouldn't really actually, like, I don't know, you could almost argue the antagonists were kind of like would you argue the antagonists in Attack on Titan were kind of right? They were thinking in a different way.
Depends who you think the antagonist is.
I know, that's the other thing too, I was like, I don't even think of a single antagonist in Attack on Titan.
Aaron Yeager was right.
Is he the protag and the antag?
I think that's kinda how they end up
Either
playing it,
way,
but yeah.
pretty fucking cool. Alright, let's hear
Six
yours.
Okay. So, I have kind of a less detailed one that I think would just kinda be fun and silly.
Sure.
The fun and silly one would be, I think if you took the gameplay loop of Helldivers and took the world of Evangelion and superimposed it on that, it'd be
Holy
rad.
shit.
It'd be
Wait a minute.
rad.
So would you, like, be just like a soldier on the ground and your stratagems would be Ava's just fucking slamming their fist or whatever into the ground?
Or, like, you could either be, like, grunt on the ground, and your goal would be to attempt fruitlessly to attempt to, like, hold up an angel until
Okay.
an Ava got there, and then, like, you could pilot the Ava and just kinda like that dichotomy of, like, I
Yeah.
can't really do anything, it's just a boots on the ground guy, and then you get in a flesh mech made of people.
Did you
Uh,
know there's actually a video game exactly how you're describing it, Loki?
are you talking about, like, Earth Defense Force?
No, it's the One Punch Man video game.
Okay,
You
okay.
play as a character and the whole point of the fight is you can't win, and then if you last long enough, you get to play as Saitama and you just win in one punch.
Well, I think the difference would be, like, as an Ava, the fight against the Angel would still be very challenging.
Oh, see, that's cool.
Maybe if it was
Maybe,
like
like, you set something up, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, for the Ava to succeed, I don't know what that would be.
or you could try and pull off, like, maybe a or between, like, a Souls-like combat, I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
or, like, a character action. I don't know. That was kinda the more simple one.
They need to
I
make things more difficult like Elden Ring, I think.
I
People are
think
getting too
El
soft.
I think Elden Ring is not that hard, but
Did I shut the fuck up, dude, I hate you. You're actually so good at, like well, also you've played, like, a lot of From Software games, so
yeah,
fuck you, dude.
I know
But
how they work.
yeah, you do. I'm fucking awful at video games, but I'm just more of a variety game. Did I tell you that there was this guy I saw, he played the newest Pokemon game, Legends Zeta A, and he won by clicking one button the whole time? and just moving.
Seriously?
He would put his hands up to the camera. He would move just to move to click things, but he would only click one. He would just click the A button. He beat the whole game. That's
Impressive.
embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. By the way, the new Pokemon game got announced today, and I don't think the main starters could look any more unoriginal and uninspired. They look awful to me. Anyways, keep going.
The other one that I would like to do, kind of more detailed one, the setting, I would say in the Universal Century timeline of Gundam, I think it'd be rad.
Didn't see that coming.
It'd be a game.
Okay.
I think. I don't know who I would have make it, or it could be a series, whatever. Um,
Dude, it
I
could
think
not be like an ARPG. I don't even care. It could be a Souls-like, and I'd be okay with Larian touching it.
yeah.
I wanted to touch it like Mike touches my sandwiches.
Just let him dance on that thing. You signed the NDA. He can do whatever he wants.
God, I love Jersey Mikes. Anyways,
I think I would do, and I'm realizing that this game will probably already also exist. World of the Universal Century. So like you have both space, Earth, and like multi-planet combat.
right.
I would I would do combat systems similar to Armored Core, obviously.
Ooh, that's a pretty in-depth game.
Yeah. I I think I would try to keep the cast of characters small. So I think I'd do character writing like Berserk. I did like as a larger cast, but I think character writing like Berserk because it is very good at showing people's emotions, how they react to situations, and also how they go through change and process things that have
Very true.
happened. Um, Soundtrack, I don't care what it's from. I want Hiroyuki Sawano to do it.
What does he do?
He did the first season of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, fair.
He did Kill a Kill. He
Oh.
did Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway's Flash.
I'm actually surprised you didn't say the original producer of all the Doom soundtracks.
Mick Gordon.
Yeah, Mick Gordon.
I don't know if it would
It would
fit.
probably wouldn't match. It's too aggressive.
I think I would do progression. Either your goal is to like make your way back to Earth for something, or to expand out further and help humanity expand into the solar system. One of the two. Antagonist writing, I would like it to be similar to Johan from Monster. Like you're just going up against an absolute force of nature who is way smarter than you.
Just like more like socially deceptive.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. That's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, do I want that or like who would I want a little bit more as an antag? I have a few
Um,
good tags though.
Themes, I think I'd stick with Gundam themes of like, war bad.
I like
I
it.
think
It's
I
good.
think the antagonists would try and reinforce that of like, I'm not the bad guy. I'm just a product of the world that our superiors have created.
Yep. Just a pawn.
Yep. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you said soundtrack already. Yeah, dude, okay, so, like, I was doing video game and the I feel like when I made the video game one, I felt like I was trying to mash, like, a 10-pound sack of shit in a 5-pound bag. There's some aspects from really small games I love, but I wanna fit aspects of huge games into that.
Mhm.
So, this is, like, a game that would just, like, scratch my itch, I think, for the most part. So, gameplay loop, some of my favorite gameplay loops have been Abiotic Factor and Palworld.
Yeah.
I love how, like, the world is only as dangerous as much as you interact with it. That's how Abiotic Factor is. The more you interact with it, the more dangerous you find it to be, and you have to, like, think and prepare yourself, and I absolutely love that about it. There is a lot of, like, Elden Ring aspects and From Software aspects I actually have loved 'cause, for the people listening, I've been playing my first ever From Software game, which is Elden Ring as of recent, and it is a very fun game. I am enjoying it a whole lot. Do I suck at it? Absolutely. I'm not good at it at all. I kinda wish there was a story mode, but that's just me being a bitch, and I was like, "I'm not gonna be a bitch. I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna win," and then I lose 45 times and see Drew kill the boss that I'm fighting right now in 4 hits. I get a little sad, but it's alright because I realize have you played, like, most all games, like Dark Souls? Have you played Sekiro?
Yep. Yep. I think the only one I haven't finished is Demon Souls.
Demon Souls, that's like one of is that a that's a From Software game, right?
Yeah, that was their
One of the
first
lesser
entry.
known.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do you play, Ghost of Tsushima?
No.
Is that a From Software?
No.
That's someone else? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro,
Yeah.
what about Elden Ring?
Alright, so you have a few hours on me, that's not too bad.
A little
It's
over
just
a
like
decade of experience.
yeah, it was funny, it was like
15,
I saw
15
you
years, yeah.
I remember a few years ago, you were like, I'm gonna start a Bloodborne run." I've never seen you get so pissed in my life. And I was like, "Elden Ring can't be that bad, right?" I fucking suck, but it's
Uh,
super fun. I love how hard it is.
Everything was smooth sailing until I was like, I need better blood gems in Bloodborne. I need to go to the Chalice dungeons, dude, I'm banging my head against the wall. I know it's coming, but I know I need what's in there, and it's oh my goodness,
I guess what, like, the
it's so
big
fun.
kind of critique on these From Software games is the lack of, like, kind of direction on where to go to do things. Is that kinda right?
It's not so much a problem in the earlier titles. I know I struggled with
Well,
it
because 'cause they're
in
more
that.
linear, aren't they?
Yeah, so, like, in Dark
Yeah.
Souls 1, you can find your way into, like, end game areas accidentally pretty easily, or, like, mid-game areas at level 1. Uh, like, dude, you can wander into Blight Town in Dark Souls 1 and have a bad time just accidentally, but also, like, the path you go is a lot more, I'd say, straightforward. Elden Ring drops you in this massive open area and says, "Good luck.
Yeah.
Hope you picked the right direction."
Yeah, it's been funny, we were on Discord last night, and I heard so much of, like, YouTube videos of telling you where to go, because I think you're getting to a point in the end game, like, mid-end game where it's like, "Fuck, I don't know."
Dude, at this point, like, right now, I've opened up probably 2/3 of the map.
Okay, so you're getting there.
Yeah, I've put off playing Elden Ring for years now. I don't know why it's finally taken me 4
Oh, I
years
know.
to actually get into it, but no, right now, I was just looking for different catacombs and dungeons to clear
Sure.
out before I keep progressing 'cause, won't miss anything this run,
Yeah,
so
I
that I know where to go to look for stuff in subsequent playthroughs.
perfect. I do see why people like it. I don't even know how far I am in the game. I'm not very far, I don't think, but, dude, I'm just, like, enjoying the exploration, like, dude, it feels so similar to Legend of Zelda, but just, like, a totally different beast, where it's like I love the idea with games, it's like, you can kind of navigate and overcome these challenges any way you want, and it's totally up to you, and the whole game is wide open for you to decide how you overcome these challenges. Do you wanna skip, a boss or something, come back to it later? Do you wanna farm for runes? Do you wanna do this? Whatever. And that's one thing I loved a lot about Legend of Zelda, so I'm getting the same vibe from this, and it's a great time. It's very cool.
Having a really good time kinda going through it. Well, it is nice now because when I initially started, I was, like, a level 12, wandered into Stormvale Castle, and kept getting, like, my shit kicked in, and
Yeah.
I was like, "I have a feeling I'm not supposed to be here."
Yeah.
And, yeah, I was right. Yeah, I was right. So, I mean,
Right.
it is nice now knowing, like, if I walk into an area, like, get absolutely, like, decimated immediately, I'm like, "Alright, I'm in the wrong spot, let's go somewhere else."
Right. Alright. Now we got a video game, and we'll wrap this up. I'll go first because I did this one. I actually like this. Oh, yeah, I was talking about it a little bit already because I went over it. Abiotic Factor and, Power for the Loop setting, dude, take me back to Rapture and BioShock any day. Oh,
Yes.
god, do I love Rapture. It is my favorite setting by far. I will always take that. Characters, yeah, give me back the old good old Borderlands 2 characters. They were so much fun. I miss those characters. Sal, Maya, Mordecai, Brick, goodness. And then combat system. This one makes me sad. There is a game that came out a few years ago. Drew, I have ranted about this game to you a few times where it was an amazing game. It was so much fun. It was great. The developers absolutely dropped the ball on DLCs, updates, everything after the game came out. So sad to me, but the game Outriders. God, dude, the game was so fun. There was so much cool stuff going with it. The developers just dropped the ball, and I think is a part of it is because I miss it so much, I hold it so fondly, but classes were unique, upgrade and tree was unique, the end game grind was not fleshed out as it could have been, but had so much potential. Man, I hope someone does something with that franchise and revives it, but progression, I don't know, I guess I DOS 2. If I can just mod all my progression systems, that's fine too. We had so much fun with mods on that. Story writing, this isn't a surprise, but Expedition 33 opinion, I'm gonna stand on this. The best story in a game I've ever experienced by far. Just that's it. Antag. I said Pagan Min, Far Cry 4. I was between him and Handsome Jack.
That's who I picked.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
But, like, so I just love how in I love, like, Antags that are just not really even Antags. They're just characters that we perceive to be Antags. And I love that, like, you could just leave in the beginning of the game and the game's over. You just hang out with Pagan Min and he just gives you the whole entire country. And I think that's so cool. Like, he's not really a threat, but we just keep fighting him for some reason. I think that's a fun antag. Like, there's so many different directions that could go. Like, giving the player options is very cool.
I like
Um,
it his later meeting. He's like, "Yeah, country's yours. That was the plan all along. I was gonna dip out." He's like,
I
"Yeah,
know,
you
dude.
got yourself into all this mess. Like, congratulations. Now you gotta clean it up. But I'm dipping out." You're like,
Dude,
"Oh
yeah,
man."
and it's because those 2 people that were, like, your kind of, like, sidekicks, whatever, they were like, "Oh, we gotta get rid of Pagan Min, the evil dictator." Like, they convinced us as the character that he's evil, and we believed it. It was so funny to me. Side content, Cyberpunk. I put this because I'm not even close to finishing the game yet, but I have done hours and hours of side content, and that alone has been fun. Soundtrack. I feel like you can guess the soundtrack I'd pick. Sonic Adventure 2,
Oh
baby.
my, yeah, gotta go fast.
Oh, man. Dude, I could have gone so many different ways with this. Gameplay loop, I could have picked, like, Super Smash Bros. I love that gameplay loop. That's super fun. There's a lot of ways I can go with this, but I have no idea what this game would even entail and end up being. Aspect of a game I didn't put in here, but I will actually kinda defend a little bit real quick. I think the basis, the bones and skeleton people hate this game. Ark Survival Evolved is very good. I know people hate it. I think the overall aspect of it is very good. Similar to Power World a tad, but yeah, Power World actually did better at it though.
You think
Yeah,
so?
tell me about yours.
Mentioned a little bit. Gameplay loop. Heck divers.
Oh, you
Like
love Heck Divers.
uh, basic gameplay loop.
That is
Heck
a
divers.
good gameplay loop though. I agree with you. That is
Oh
a
yeah.
solid loop.
Setting would be Evangelion.
Oh hell yeah.
I think I would have characters like Expedition 33.
Ooh, those are some great characters.
The combat system. We'll come back to the combat system. Progression. So progression style would be kind of like Persona 5.
Ooh, yeah, there's a lot of progression that you could play with.
Story writing, come back to that too. Antagonist, Handsome Jack. So it would be kind of more
Nice.
of he is, on the side of the angels, wants the impacts to happen, which I mean,
Dude, that's actually kind of clever. You actually put it together a little bit.
yeah, I think side content I would do is Cyberpunk just because there's so
Nice.
much. And then soundtrack, I would do something like Bloodborne soundtrack because
Ooh, yeah.
it's so good.
So eerie and terrifying.
Yep. Uh, Combat system, gosh, this was
I guess you could just say like Helldivers, kind of, right?
you could do, yeah, Helldivers, kinda Helldivers mixed with Earth Defense Force.
Fair. We just want a Helldivers with to do a collab with Evangelion and then to have a character who is kind of funny, but also really wants the third impact to happen.
Mhm.
That'd be kind of
Uh,
hilarious. I love that.
uh, and then goodness, progression. This is the one that stumped me. I don't want it to be something where, like, you're a dude and then you can just end up progressing through to the point where you're one-shotting angels.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it
True.
should still be a challenge.
You always wanna
Uh
feel a little bit underpowered and you need skill,
mhm.
you know?
Progression-wise, in terms of, like, combat, kinda more similar to, like, Shadow of the Colossus, where, like,
Ooh.
you gotta it's not, like, an outright challenge, but you still have to go through the like, you're not gonna spec out your build to the point where you one-shot an angel.
Yeah.
Like, you still have to kinda go through different points with, like, intel you get and how to take them on, and there's specific ways to take down each of them. But yeah.
That's a good point, like, I mean, you're getting to the point of it's kinda like Fear and Hunger where, like, you don't just like, your traits should make you stronger, they should help you out, but they shouldn't be the determining factor of, like, how you are able to take down enemies, and I like your idea of the idea that your ability to take down the enemies is determined based on you, the player, knowing what to do, finding information on how to take down enemies. That's
Mhm.
a good one. I like the Shadow Colossus progression type. That's a clever one.
So,
Well
yeah,
done.
there we go. Well, thank you. And to you as well, sir.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, that's really cool. That's a good point to think about. I wish there was more games like that where your ability is determined on what you know and what you find out. So you have to go explore. And so your s your progression is exploring to find new information on what to do. That'd be even cool if, like, say you're playing a game and you find, like, a codex of something, and reading that codex, now when you go fight a certain enemy or you kill an enemy or you fight a boss, now you can see, like, a little red highlight where they're weak, where you wouldn't know that otherwise, or something like that. I think, like,
Yeah.
BioShock did something similar with a camera. You had to research them. You did more damage the more you would research them and take pictures of them, something like that, but that's a cool one. I like that. Oh, should we wrap up? We
I
got
think
2 episodes to do this week,
I know.
one day.
You
So
have
looking forward.
work.
Dude, yeah, whatever. I gotta go to the Arnold and be around a bunch of smelly, gross people.
Have fun.
Will be fun. All right, we're gonna wrap up this episode. Thank you all for watching. This was very fun. I love doing these little kind of activities at the end. And what I'll even do, I'll even post this in the description notes for you. But we want to hear what other people have to say. And if you like the style, if we kind of have like a topic and like a game at the end, let us know in the comments and everything. But we're gonna keep doing it because honestly, we don't really care about people's opinions. We just have fun. But we are always open for ideas. That's for sure. But anyways, Drew, any parting words?
I love all the beautiful listeners.
God, shut the fuck up. You're so fake and gross. I hate you.
And this
I
is
have been
why we're
around you
friends.
way too much this week. You need to stop talking so much. I hate you.
Yeah, you're the worst person I know. That's why we've been friends for a decade.
God, it's been a decade. It's been over a decade. That's gross.
Ugh.
All right. Well, this was fun. Drew, I'll see you in about an hour. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye-bye.